Welcome to the July 26th meeting of the Village of Rye Brook's Board of Trustees. Please join me in the stand-up Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hi, for those of you who don't know me, my name is David Heiser. I'm filling in for Mayor Jason Klein. And for those of you who do know me, my name is David Heiser, and I'm filling in for Jason Klein. For our first resolution, we are considering setting a public hearing for a special permit for a temporary cell on wheels, which Paul McCartney would be proud of, facility at Doral, Arrowwood.
Whereas on May 12, 2015, the Village of Rye Brook Board of Trustees approved a special permit and site plan approval to construct an attached public utility wireless telecommunications facility on the roof of Doral, Arrowwood, located at 965 Anderson Hill Road in the PUD zoning district. And whereas on January 13, 2020, Doral Arrowwood Hotel was shut down by the previous owner, Benchmark Hospitality of Westchester. And whereas the Cohen Brothers Realty acquired ownership of the Doral site and has requested Verizon remove the existing facility to facilitate removal of the existing hotel and associated structures on the site. And whereas Verizon Wireless submitted special permit and site plan applications to install a temporary cell on wheels, or a COW, on the Doral Arrowwood premises to continue to provide enhanced reliable communication services, including for emergency communications. And whereas the Village Board has determined the special permit and site plan applications for this temporary wireless telecommunication facility is a Type 2 action under seeker, and as such, no further environmental review is required. And whereas on June 28, 2022, the Village of Rye Brook Board of Trustees, in accordance with the Village Code, referred the special permit and site plan applications for the COW to the on the Doral Arrowwood property to the Village of Rye Brook Planning Board for report and recommendation. And whereas on June 28th, the Board of Trustees, in accordance with the Code, also modified the notification requirements as follows for both the Village Board and Planning Board meetings as appropriate. When the public sign is required to be posted, it must be placed on the Anderson Hill Road side of the property and be visible from the public street. And when mail notifications are required, they must only be sent to the Doral Greens HOA, the Blind Brook Club, the Enclave HOA, and the management company at Kingfield, with the intent that they will share it with the residents and owners on their properties. And whereas on July 14th, 2022, the Village of Rye Brook Planning Board recommended approval of the special permit and site plan applications submitted by Verizon Wireless and referred those applications back to the Board of Trustees for final approval, subject to the following conditions. 1, that the Planning Board recommends that the Board of Trustees approve the site plan and special permit applications for the COW upon review and consideration of all comments from the Village's consultant, Mike Busso from HDR Associates. And 2, the Board recommends the Board of Trustees add a condition to any approval resolution to limit the approval of the COW to a period not to exceed 12 months with the ability for Verizon Wireless to request an extension if needed. And whereas the Village of Rye Brook must hold a public hearing to consider the approving the special permit and site plan application to install the COW facility at this location, now therefore be it resolved that the Village of Rye Brook Board of Trustees will hold a public hearing on August 8, 2022 to consider approval of the special permit and site plan applications submitted by Verizon Wireless to install a COW facility on the Doral Arrowwood property located at 965 Anderson Hill Road. Be it further resolved that notice of the public hearing shall also be provided to the Town of Harrison and the Town of Greenwich, Connecticut.
Thank you, Chris. Susan and Sal, can I get a motion and a second, please?
Second.
Thank you. Ms. Snyder, do you have anything to say about this?
No.
Since you're here.
Forward to the public hearing on August 8th, so I appreciate you guys moving the application along.
Sal or Susan, do you have anything to say?
No.
And I would just add that HDR has said that they will provide comments the week before the public hearing, so we'll have that in advance of the public hearing date.
Now, this is going to be a little quiz. How many of you actually read the Planning Board report? The reason I ask, if you read it, I saw a word that I had never seen before, which was clearly a typo. They talked about guide wires, G-U-Y-E-D. What?
It is spelled like that.
No, it's not.
No?
No.
I've seen it spelled like that.
Only incorrectly. Guide wires are Guide.
How long do you expect the temporary unit to stay?
6 months.
And then what's the plan? You'll hopefully,
Looking for a permanent location. We're
Oh.
hoping that in the next 6 months we'll be able to locate a permanent location.
okay,
At least 6 to 9 months, but
yeah.
we're pretty certain in 6 months.
And they're not going to allow you to put it there. They're ready.
Leslie, you want to come up here so that Sal can grill you? Sal, be kind.
Okay.
At this point, they've indicated they will not let us have it at the
Oh.
Doral Arrowwood property, unfortunately, although that is an ideal location for us.
All right. I wonder why. It's revenue for them. It's kind of semi-approved already.
I totally agree with you. I think, I guess they're saying they're concerned that it would affect whatever their plans are for the property, which I gather are quite vast plans.
Well, Leslie, if I recall correctly from the planning board meeting, you indicated that there was no chance that this was going to be a long-term solution anyway.
Correct.
Regardless of what the property owner said.
Right, this cow will not be a long-term solution.
Yeah.
And cannot be a long-term solution. It will be needed somewhere else. It's just really going to be at this temporary location due to this sort of emergency situation that we're in, unfortunately.
Who named it?
Excuse me?
I'm sorry. We're just being flippant because it's the summer, but why did they name it a cow? I know
Sell
it's an
on
acronym.
wheels. I guess they thought that
I
was
know.
in
Paul McCartney.
Sorry.
All right, good luck.
Any other comments from the board? From the vast number of people sitting out there in the public, any comments?
You are absolutely correct on that guide wire.
Yeah, every single engineer spells it that way.
But guide
It's a
is
guide.
a synonym for guide wire.
It's a guide wire, not a guy wire.
That was weird too. I once asked an engineer who said, "Oh, that's the correct spelling." So I was like,
Go with your instincts. Go with your instincts. When things look weird, it's usually because they are weird. Okay, Greg, you want to call this for a vote?
Trustee Epstein?
Yes.
Trustee Morlino?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Heiser?
Yes. Number 2, considering accepting a donation for Music in the Park event.
Whereas the Village of Rybrook will be holding a Music in the Park summer concert in August 2022, and whereas First Bank of Greenwich of 4044 East Putnam Avenue, Coscob, Connecticut, is interested in donating $500 to the Friends of Rybrook to help offset the cost of the event, and whereas the Village of Rybrook is interested in accepting the donation, now therefore be it resolved that the Village of Rybrook hereby accepts the donation of $500 from the First Bank of Greenwich, and be it further resolved that the mayor and administrator are authorized to sign any documents necessary to accomplish the purposes of this resolution.
Thank you, Chris. Can I get a motion in a second?
Motion?
Second.
Thank you, too. That's very good. Any discussion from the board?
No. We'll take
No,
the
other
money.
than thank you
Thank
so
you for the
much.
money.
Can I just get a clarification? So
Sure.
I couldn't tell from the email. Are they sponsoring one of the concerts?
Yes, that's why they're only going to be on the flyer for one particular.
Got it. So I just left it as August 2022. That's
Yes, that is
sufficient?
fine.
Okay.
But it was the August 10th one, though.
It is the August 10th, and it may be August 11th, so we want to be,
So we'll just leave it that way.
we're going to leave it that way because we need some flexibility just for weather reasons,
Oh, it's the third one,
whatever one it is.
whatever one it is.
It is the third one, yes.
Yes.
So I want to thank the Bank of Greenwich. Thank you.
Michael, you have anything to say about this?
Motion second?
You're too late. Greg?
Okay, Trustee Epstein?
Yes.
Trustee Morlino?
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Heiser?
Yes. Number 3, considering modifying lease and fee for the soccer program.
Whereas the Village of Rybrook Parks and Recreation Department was contacted by the Blindbrook High School soccer coach proposing to run a preseason high school soccer clinic, and whereas the proposed soccer clinic will take place in the Blindbrook High School turf field from August 15th to the 18th with a rain date of August 19th from 9 to 11 a.m., and whereas the soccer coach will be operating as an outside contractor and providing the village compensation of 25% of revenue for the proposed program, and whereas the Parks and Recreation Superintendent, Robert Bertolacci, has recommended a fee of $200 to be established for the high school preseason soccer clinic, now therefore be resolved that the Village of Rybrook Board of Trustees hereby approves modifying the village's license and fee schedule by adding the following program. It's a preseason high school soccer clinic at $200 per session.
Thank you, Chris. Can I get a motion and a second, please?
So moved. We're opening it up for discussion.
I need a second.
Second.
Thank you. It's a little just, tempo here. Comments?
Yes. So clearly it is they're doing it as an outside clinic, and Rybrook generally gets 25% of the revenue for any person. Why are we capping it?
What are we capping?
We're not capping it. It says he wants to cap the program at 200. It's going to be more than that.
I don't know what you mean by capping it. I'm
In other
sorry.
words, the revenue. Is that what the revenue, the revenue can't be more than $200?
The village fee.
No, that's the fee. You're
That's a
modifying
fee.
the license and fee schedule.
So
So each individual has to pay $200 for the 4 days.
he gets 25%.
And we get 25% of the 200.
200.
Got it.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're not, I hear.
No, we're not capping anything.
We're increasing.
Whenever we do the license and fee, we're actually modifying the fee schedule that's in the adopted budget, which you can do by resolution. And so this is basically the individual fee to attend the program. So every attendee that's interested would pay $200, of which we would get 25%.
Okay, got it.
Okay, fine. That wasn't clear to me. Great, okay.
Are we going to see the insurance policy before this is all done?
Well-
Just to make sure it says what it's supposed to say.
We have it go through our risk manager, and we actually have, on all outside agreements, we actually have a template that was approved by the board a long time ago for outside contractor agreements. So this way, everyone doesn't have, we do it for every program, so this way it doesn't have to keep coming back to the board. The board previously approved a template.
Got it. Okay.
Any other comments?
I hope they don't have horrible weather.
That would be good. Greg?
Trustee Epstein?
Yes.
Trustee Morlino,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Heiser?
It's hard to say, I know, especially without laughing. Yes.
You've been deputy before.
No, I haven't. Don't be getting any of that on me. Resolution number 4, considering the appointment of a police officer.
Resolved that Robert Samuel of Portchester, New York is hereby conditionally appointed to the position of police officer with the Village of Rybrook, subject to the civil service procedures of the state of New York, and according to the offer letter dated July 20th, 2022. Be it further resolved that the annual salary is $60,983 with an effective start date of September 1st, 2022.
Thank you, Chris. Motion and second.
So moved.
Second.
Much better this time. Any comments?
This is one step in a multi-layered process for appointments. So, he still has, as you can see in the appointment letter and the offer letter, there's still other hurdles to be done, but through the county and through other exams. But this is the preliminary step towards that appointment.
I must say, Mr. Samuel's resume was
Yeah.
very impressive.
Absolutely.
Greg?
And we can say to the public that he's currently has a few years' experience in another police department, which is also helpful.
And he can be a technician. And he can.
You can't even get that with a straight face. You can't get that out with a straight face. Yes. Greg? Yeah.
Trustee Epstein?
Yes.
Trustee Morlino,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Heiser?
Yes. Resolution number 5, considering approval of the minutes for the meeting held on June 12th, 2022.
Now therefore be resolved that the Village of Rybrook Board of Trustees approves the minutes for the meeting held on June 12th, 2022.
Can I get a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
I looked at the minutes. They were fine with me. Any comments?
No, they look good.
Everything
Correct.
spelled correctly?
Everything spelled. They didn't use the word guide wire at any point in the minutes.
Trustee Epstein?
Yes.
Trustee Morlino,
Yes.
Deputy Mayor Heiser?
Yes. Administrator's report.
Okay, I just want to start off actually with the incident that occurred over the weekend, because I think, that's certainly in the forefront of everybody's minds that is aware of this incident. We want to make sure the community is aware of it, and we also want to kind of give you a little step on where we are in the process. But there was a police incident this past weekend on Saturday morning between 9 and 10 a.m. in the Country Ridge Drive area, and had different behavior than we've seen in the past. So that raised some concerns for everybody involved. What happened was there was two males were following a resident that lives in Country Ridge area, And when that resident pulled into the driveway, those two males confronted the resident, actually assaulted him, and took his vehicle. The two males were in a stolen Mercedes car, and then quickly left the community, which we know they did because license plate readers basically picked up their vehicle south in the Hutch in the New Rochelle area. So we were glad they were out of the area, but the behavior is concerning. Up until now, there's been a lot of stolen vehicles, not just in Rybrook, but throughout Westchester County and the region, Connecticut and as well, Greenwich. But the pattern has normally been, and it continues to be, the major concern being that vehicles are left either opened, where people are getting things stolen out of their vehicles. It's opportunistic, for people to go and take things from vehicles when they're unlocked. And often key fobs or keys are left in the car, and even regardless of cameras being on them, they will take the vehicle, and then it becomes a stolen vehicle that's hard to recover. So the message has been very consistent. People make sure that all the residents lock your doors, your car doors. Please don't leave the keys or the key fobs in your vehicles, because right now, they're mostly the stolen vehicles. Again, they're victims of opportunity. Makes it easier. They'll go door to door. They know they're on camera, and they will continue to go until they get the cars that they're looking for or the stolen items from inside the car if they're able to get in. So, but what really concerns us on this, and it's again right in daylight, 9 to 10 a.m. in that hour on Saturday morning. The fact that they followed somebody there and assaulted the person. That was something that's a little bit different. So we want residents to really be alert to these issues. We're asking residents. The police were quickly involved. We've had extra police officers and detectives on the case. We've been following it in multiple jurisdictions, leads that we've had, and it's a very active case for the Rybrook Police Department. On Saturday, we also tried to get notice out. The mayor sent an email to the community, quickly got things out on Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and letting people know, if you see something, please tell the police department. If you see something, say something. Please call the police department at 914-937-1020. That's not 911, so that's a number that they can pick up, get the information, and follow up appropriately. Check your ring cameras or other types of video, because often you'll have a video of the individuals stealing cars or leaving the area. So if you have anything in that time frame, again, this past Saturday between 9 and 10 a.m., if you check your videos and you see any signs of concerns, particularly from the Country Ridge area, we ask that you call the police with those leads. This is something that's affecting the entire region. I know I said that earlier, but I'm emphasizing it. Up and down the county, east, west, north, south, communities are working together, but they're very quick actions that are taken, and they happen in the daytime, they happen at nighttime. We're hoping that the assault or the confronting of a resident in their driveway and following them home, we're hoping that's not the normal pattern, and it still does not seem to be. Or at least not right now. That's the one time we've had that type of an interaction. So we're hoping that that's not something that will continue. But of course, we're all concerned, and we want to make sure the community is aware of it, is very mindful of what was going on. We want to make sure they're informed that there was something in the community, and then they quickly left. But we want to always be mindful and keep an eye out and try to watch your neighbors, watch over your neighbors' houses, and please, because we expect that it will continue, if you have open vehicles, or please lock your vehicles, please don't leave your keys in the car. We think that's still the normal pattern that people are going for when they're looking to steal vehicles. But we really want to make sure that this aggression doesn't continue, and we're putting extra attention on those issues throughout the day.
I was just going to say exactly what Chris said, which is don't make it easy for these amateur thieves. Lock your car, and don't leave valuables in conspicuous places within your car, even if it's locked. And Sal, I'm going to ask you to explain about those mirrors on the sides of the car and how they can tell.
Oh, yes. I've had witnessed where certain vehicles mirrors, when the car is not locked, the mirrors are out, and when you lock the car, the mirrors go in. So if they're just doing a drive-by and they see the mirrors out and they know that vehicle's has a mirror system or a locking system where the mirrors turn in, well, then they know either the car is unlocked or locked. So that's a quick way for them to tell. They're very smart and very conscious of how they can tell whether the cars are locked. And again, it's during the day, like Chris said. It could be any time of the day or night. I would recommend that everybody's conscious of their surroundings. Always, when you go in and get out of your car, before you go out, look around. When you're driving home, and you just got to be conscious now. What Chris said, we're hoping this is just a one-time incident or something like this, as brazen as it is. So I encourage everybody to be safe and conscious of what they're doing.
Thank you. Chris, I'm sure you have more.
I do, and a much more positive note. It's actually a really exciting week for Rybrook in terms of community events. And we are very excited. I'm excited for many of the events that are coming up. Every single one of them. I think we have a great lineup between tomorrow night and Saturday. We have some really great lineups, and then more to come after that. But we'll focus maybe on the next 3 events, if that's okay. So the first one, Trustee Epstein has been working again for the very successful Music in the Park event that we do at Pine Ridge, and the first free summer concert is going to be held tomorrow. That's Wednesday, July 27th, beginning at 6:45 p.m. at Pine Ridge Park. The band that's going to be there is called Kickin' Nash, and that's a very high-energy rock band. I looked into the band a little bit. It seems really well regarded. It seems like everybody is excited to see this particular band, and they've got a great following. We're also very lucky that we have Julia B. Fee and Sotheby's as a sponsor of our summer concert series, so we're really appreciative. And I personally also want to thank Trustee Epstein for taking control of these issues and the music in the park. It's always a lot of fun to see all the residents out having a great time in our park and enjoying some great music. So we're very excited for our first Music in the Park event tomorrow.
I was just going to say, if you enjoy the music in the park, go up to Trustee Epstein and say thank you.
Yes, thank you. I can say it now.
Well, if I can interject for a second.
Of course.
We actually have 2 more concerts planned, so we will not have a meeting before the other 2 concerts. So 727 is Kicking Nash, and that is a rock country band, so it's a different genre than we've had before, but I know they're very popular, and I would urge you all to come out and have a picnic. We're going to have fantastic weather. They're forecasting comfortable weather, not humid, so show us that you love us.
And what time is that?
6:45.
6:45.
6:45. Also, 8/3, August 3rd, we have Beely Dan coming back. They were really popular last year, classic pop and rock. And the band members are all Rybrook residents. So I know that we're going to have a huge crowd coming out for that one. So that's the following Wednesday. Hopefully we'll have the same weather. Next, on 8/10, we have Downward Spiral. That is also another rock pop band, and I hear they're really popular too, so I think you'll come out and love them. I'm working on the other concerts, but again, thank you to Marcia Rogel for pushing this forward again for 2022, and several other Rybrook brokers that all participate in donating money and sponsoring it for us, Julia Beefy and Sotheby's. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you all tomorrow night.
Wonderful. And this Friday is our last Ice Cream Friday. Believe it or not, that'll be our 5th Friday, knock on wood. We've had all the weather held for each one of them. So.
I missed it. I fell asleep. Did you have a good crowd?
We had a little bit more smaller crowd than the first 2 weeks were huge.
Huge, yeah.
Right.
Massive crowds.
Yeah.
And then the next one was strong. And then, last week's was a good crowd. I think if we didn't have the prior ones, we would have been very happy with the crowd there. It was also rainy and hot, but people stayed.
It was hot.
It was
In fact,
really hot.
my favorite comment was somebody came up and said, it's raining and we're still not leaving. We're all at the same crowd that was here is not leaving. He said, that's a sign of a fun event. That's what a resident told us.
I
said,
love
that was
that.
great. Yeah.
Well, Chris,
Good.
is there any truth to the fact that you took all the calories out of the ice cream?
Oh, yeah, we cook it. Absolutely. There's no calories at all. Absolutely.
I think that we should thank you for
Please,
being
no,
there at all of them.
honestly, it's the rec department and Paul
Greg
Vinci
also.
and Greg, and it's a team effort 100% on all these.
So I
So
know
it
that
really is.
I did attend one of them. I was away, and then it was so hot last week, so I'm sorry.
That's
But
all right.
Even ice cream would have solved it for me last week.
So-
But I know that the residents are all telling me that they love it and wish that it would continue.
And it's some people that are a lot of people this year that just moved into the community in recent years. So many people have come up and said, "Oh, I just moved in 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago, and it's right down the street, and we can't believe it." You know, I can't tell you the number of people that come up and said, "How much is this?" And then it's free, guys. So it is this Friday. It's our last one of the summer, from 6 to 7:30 at Pine Ridge Park, and then Saturday, we have another event, and Saturday is going to be a lot of fun. That's going to be a food truck event that we have right again at Pine Ridge Park. So the park's getting a lot of use.
Yes.
And the food truck event, we had a very successful food truck event several years ago, before pre-COVID. So we were looking forward to bringing it back. After the events, we always survey and say, what could we do even better? And one of the things people said was, I think it would be even more successful if we had entertainment and things to do, and when people come, not just eat and kind of leave. We had a live band last time, so this time what we're doing is we got some great food trucks, and we also have rec activities there. We're going to have our rec staff there, and we're going to be doing. We have a DJ. We're going to have kickball games, pick up kickball games, pick up cornball tournament. Back and forth. We're probably going to alternate, then go back to kickball. We're going to have face painting and tattoos and the bounce house. So we'll have all the stuff out there and give people an opportunity to be out. But it is for all ages, young and old. It's anybody. Please come out and enjoy the food. We're going to have the trucks. We have 7 trucks that are going to be there, and it's a good variety. Bona Bona, Crazy Taco Mex, a Galapagos truck, Kona Ice, Max Food Truck, and New England's Finest Lobster and Pizza Vitale. So we have all kinds of variety for whatever your interest. So,
In the off chance that the weather is inclement on Saturday, is there a backup day?
there is not, but the weather does look like it's going to be very good on Saturday, last I saw. So the weather looks like it's going to be a nice Saturday day. So it's this Saturday, July 30th, from 11 to 3 p.m. at Pine Ridge Park. And come enjoy the good food and enjoy the music and activities. So that's all I have for tonight, and then we'll have more to report after all that with more activities later on. And Greg Rivera, my assistant, asked us to say a few words as well about a recent event.
I just liked it.
But before I was going to say what I did want to say, I just want to reiterate what all of you have said regarding our different events. Please come out to all the ones that were just mentioned. I will personally say I've had a great time serving ice cream. I learned how to pronounce sherbet with Mayor Klein, serving with him on one of the Fridays that we had. And I also just want to take a moment to thank our recreation, our DPW workers, because it's tireless hours that goes into it, a lot of it which the public doesn't get to see. And so without their efforts, all these events wouldn't be possible. Now, I've only been here since January, so I can't reference it from years back. But to my understanding, we haven't had it in a couple of years because of the pandemic, so it's been nice to see everybody come out again to enjoy the festivities that the village has to offer, and hopefully that will continue going forward. And I just will say this as well, that for me, again, serving the ice cream, it's also very symbolic to me in the sense that it represents the community of Rye Brook, of everyone being able to come together in the spirit of having ice cream. I mean, I personally, I know everyone gets on me about this, I personally don't eat it, ice cream, but...
or anything sweet.
No, but needless to say, it's something that I've enjoyed thoroughly, and I will hopefully get to do it again this Friday. But I do just want to take a moment to thank everyone, though, who participated in our community tax sale last Saturday, yes, and all those who braved the hot sun to either host at their own residencies or all the residents and those who maybe don't live in Rye Brook or Port Chester to come to support the residents who were selling items at their homes. And I also want to take a moment to thank the Foster Teen Employment Network, also known as F10, which they're on 62 Bowman Avenue. They were very nice enough to allow residents to rent out space for those who can't participate. Some of the HOAs don't allow it. And so they did very well speaking with our sustainability chair, Bridget Dix, who's also on the board of directors for F10. And so I just want to give them a big personal thank you for allowing that to happen for all the residents, again, who wouldn't otherwise would not be able to participate. So thank you again to all those who participated, all the residents who showed up, and thank you to F10 for making this event a huge success.
And I think we had, what, about 24
Yes.
homes that participated. And again, some of the, as Greg said, some of the HOAs don't allow you to have the tag sale, so having the ability to go to the not-for-profit or F10,
Yes, F10.
to go to those locations and to be able to participate is a nice opportunity for people.
It was, and again, I actually went to visit them personally myself yesterday, just to give them a personal thanks for all their efforts in this.
That's Michael and Joy Goldstein.
Yes, that is correct.
Very good. Thank you. Thanks for doing the coordination for that event. It really is a nice thing to do and a great, I think people really seem to have a lot of interest in participating in that every year.
Does anybody else have anything else they wish to say? Our next two meetings will be on August 8th and September 13th, 2022. And with any luck, Mayor Klein will be back and you won't have to deal with me. And I bid you all a good night.
Okay.